Chosen ones, if you are hearing this right now, understand this clearly: Allah is not destroying your life, He is upgrading it. The confusion you feel, the sudden changes, the people drifting away, and the doors closing without explanation are not signs of failure, they are signs of elevation. Allah never calls a servant higher without first shaking the ground beneath their feet, because comfort creates attachment, but transformation requires surrender. What you are experiencing is divine preparation, not delay. Allah is removing what can no longer follow you into the next chapter He has written for you. So do not resist this moment, and do not cling to what He has already asked you to release. Listen closely, because these 7 powerful lessons will reveal why Allah is changing your life right now, and how accepting this upgrade will unlock the breakthrough you have been praying for. When Allah decides to elevate a chosen one, the very first sign is separation, and this separation is never random, never cruel, and never accidental, even though it feels painful at the human level. Allah, in His perfect wisdom, removes people, places, habits, and attachments that are no longer aligned with the level He is taking you to, because what cannot grow with you must be released before it becomes a burden. This is why relationships suddenly change, friendships fade without explanation, family dynamics feel strained, and environments that once felt familiar now feel suffocating. The heart aches because separation tests sincerity, but Allah does not separate to punish, He separates to protect. If everything stayed the same, you would remain the same, and Allah has already written a higher destiny for you. Look at the lives of the prophets, peace be upon them, and you will see that every major elevation came after isolation, rejection, or migration, because Allah builds strength in solitude and clarity in distance. When people walk away, when support disappears, and when you are left standing alone with only Allah, it is not because you were forgotten, it is because Allah wants you to learn that your source was never creation, but the Creator. Separation breaks unhealthy dependence, purifies intention, and teaches tawakkul at a level comfort never could. What you are being separated from cannot follow you where Allah is taking you, and if it stayed, it would delay your growth, weaken your resolve, and distract you from your mission. Even though your heart may grieve, your soul understands that this is divine pruning, not divine rejection. Allah removes to replace, He empties to fill, and He distances you from what limits you, so He can bring you closer to what elevates you. Accept the separation, even when it hurts, because one day you will look back and realize that losing them was the exact reason you found yourself, strengthened your faith, and stepped fully into the life Allah had prepared for you all along. Chosen ones, understand this truth. Deeply discomfort is not a sign that you are failing. It is a clear and undeniable sign that Allah is reshaping you for a higher level of existence, and transformation never comes without pressure. Every moment of uncertainty, every sleepless night, every pang of anxiety or restlessness is evidence that your soul is being stretched to hold the greatness Allah is about to bestow upon you. Comfort never produces strength, patience, or clarity. It merely maintains the status quo, and Allah never calls a chosen one to greatness without first shaking the foundations of what feels safe. The challenges you face, the inner tension that seems unbearable at times, and the situations that feel impossible are not punishments. They are divine workshops designed to strip away ego, purify intention, and align your heart fully with reliance on Allah alone. Just as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, endured trials that tested his patience, his trust, and his resilience before his mission could truly unfold, so too will your discomfort signal the preparation of your character, your vision, and your spiritual capacity. Every trial, every moment of fear, every internal battle is molding you into someone who can carry responsibility, inspire others, and maintain tranquility even in chaos. Discomfort pushes you to confront what you have ignored, to release what you cling to unnecessarily, and to awaken a reliance on Allah that cannot be taught in ease or abundance. Your impatience, your doubts, and your frustrations are not weaknesses, but indicators that Allah is refining your heart, stretching your spirit, and preparing you to receive blessings that your current self could not contain. So, embrace the unease, the uncertainty, and the inner turbulence, for these are the signposts of transformation. They are the fire refining the gold of your soul. One day, you will look back on these moments and realize that what felt unbearable was the very process that elevated you, reshaped you, and prepared you to step fully into the life, mission, and destiny that Allah has meticulously written for you, a life that only the transformed, resilient, and patient heart can truly hold. Chosen ones, one of the hardest and yet most liberating truths to accept is that your old self, the habits, fears, doubts, and limitations that once defined you, cannot accompany you into the new level Allah is preparing, and holding on to it will only slow the divine momentum that is unfolding in your life. Every upgrade, every blessing, every elevation in Allah's plan requires a transformation so profound that the old version of you becomes incompatible with what is coming. What once fit comfortably around your shoulders is now too small to bear the responsibility, vision, and spiritual authority Allah is giving you. This is why you feel detached from people who once mattered, why old routines no longer bring peace, and why certain parts of your personality are being tested, challenged, and even removed because they belong to a chapter that Allah has closed, so that a new story, one far greater than you can currently imagine, can begin. Your new level requires clarity that fear clouds, courage that hesitation weakens, and purity of intention that distraction compromises. The insecurities you wrestle with, the self-doubt that whispers in your ear, and the tendencies that once defined your identity are not failures. They are signals that Allah is asking you to shed layers that no longer serve your purpose. Just as a tree must lose old leaves in order to bloom anew, and as a diamond must be cut and polished before it can shine, your soul must let go of what it clings to in order to embrace the full brilliance of Allah's plan. This process is uncomfortable, even painful, because it requires confronting the parts of yourself you once identified with and releasing them entirely to Allah's guidance. But in this release lies freedom, in this surrender lies empowerment, and in this transformation lies the capacity to carry what Allah has written for you, a life of impact, a heart of clarity, and a spirit elevated beyond the limitations of your former self. Do not mourn who you were, for that version of you served its purpose. Instead, embrace who you are becoming, knowing with certainty that the old identity cannot enter this new level because it was never meant to hold the weight of your divine destiny. Chosen ones, one of the most profound and misunderstood signs of Allah's elevation in your life is silence, and it is crucial that you recognize that when He calls you to quietness, it is not emptiness, it is preparation. Silence is not a punishment, nor is it a sign that Allah has abandoned you. Rather, it is one of the most powerful tools in the divine upgrade, a space where your heart, mind, and soul can align without distraction or interference. The world is noisy with opinions, judgments, and expectations, and for a chosen one, too much engagement with this noise would dilute your focus, drain your energy, and prevent the clarity needed for the higher level Allah is preparing. That is why during upgrades, Allah often leads you into seasons of withdrawal, reflection, and inner stillness, where the people who cannot understand your journey step away. The situations that previously demanded your attention no longer matter, and you are left in a space where only your reliance on Him is absolute. Silence sharpens your awareness, strengthens your intuition, and trains your heart to listen to guidance that no one else can give. It is in this quiet that you begin to hear the whispers of Allah's wisdom guiding you toward your destiny, where every decision, every action, and every thought becomes calibrated for what is coming. Many chosen ones resist this silence because it feels lonely, confusing, or even frightening. But the truth is that Allah is protecting you, shielding your energy, and preparing you to step fully into the impact you are meant to have, without being distracted or derailed by the noise of the world. In silence, your heart grows stronger, your intentions are purified, and your connection to Allah deepens in ways that words and explanations could never achieve. This is why you may feel misunderstood, isolated, or even invisible. It is all part of the divine orchestration, because people who cannot comprehend your journey are not meant to accompany you into your next level. Silence also teaches restraint, patience, and trust. It reminds you that your validation comes not from human approval, but from the one who sees all, knows all, and writes destinies with perfect wisdom. When you embrace silence, you step into a sacred space where your thoughts are clearer, your heart is more attuned, and your spirit becomes resilient enough to handle the responsibilities and blessings Allah is preparing. The moments that feel empty are actually full with divine presence. The absence of explanations is actually the presence of divine strategy, and the feeling of being unseen is actually the preparation for a manifestation so powerful that it will speak louder than any words ever could. Chosen ones, never underestimate the power of silence in your journey, for it is the soil in which the seeds of your next level are planted, the forge in which your character is strengthened, and the sanctuary in which your connection to Allah reaches heights that distraction could never allow. The world may misunderstand you, question you, or even mock your quiet, but understand this silence is not weakness. It is your weapon, your shield, and your preparation, and the moment you emerge from it, you will do so with clarity, strength, and impact that could not have been possible without the sacred space that only silence could create. So do not fear the quiet, do not resist the withdrawal, and do not fill the space with excuses or explanations. Instead, embrace it, trust Allah's timing, and let the silence shape you into the chosen one who is ready to step into the life He has meticulously designed, knowing that this stillness is not absence, but an upgrade that is setting the stage for your destiny to unfold in ways you cannot yet imagine. Chosen ones. One of the most critical lessons Allah wants His servants to understand is that resistance to His plan, resistance to change, resistance to the process of elevation is one of the fastest ways to delay the blessings that are already written for you. And this resistance often takes subtle forms that you may not even recognize: clinging to familiarity, holding on to comfort, doubting your worth, questioning the timing, or insisting on understanding every step before moving forward. Every upgrade Allah prepares requires surrender, complete reliance, and willingness to let go of control, because divine elevation cannot coexist with human stubbornness. When you fight what Allah has decreed, when you argue with the process instead of walking in faith, you place barriers between yourself and the mercy, provision, and breakthroughs that are ready to flow into your life. The human ego does not like to be stripped of security, validation, or certainty, and so it resists change, clings to the past, and convinces the heart that delay or difficulty is a sign of inadequacy or punishment. But the truth is that the blessings you are waiting for have already been decreed, the doors have already been opened, and the provision is already on its way. What is missing is your surrender, your acceptance, and your trust in Allah's timing. Look at the lives of the prophets, peace be upon them, and recognize the pattern. Every elevation was preceded by trials, patience, and obedience, and every delay that seemed unbearable was, in reality, the perfect moment for preparation. Resistance prolongs hardship, magnifies anxiety, and clouds clarity, because Allah does not accelerate what you are not ready to receive, and readiness is always linked to acceptance. When you stop arguing with the process, stop trying to force outcomes, and stop clinging to what He has asked you to release, the weight lifts, clarity comes, and momentum begins to flow in ways that human effort alone could never create. Resistance is not merely a mental or emotional struggle, it is a spiritual obstacle, and overcoming it requires deep reflection, self-discipline, and unwavering trust in Allah. Every doubt you entertain, every moment you question the wisdom of divine timing, and every hesitation to step fully into what Allah has decreed delays not only your blessing, but also the purpose that Allah has assigned to you in this world. Acceptance, on the other hand, opens pathways that were previously hidden, aligns your energy with divine will, and accelerates the manifestation of your destiny, because Allah rewards those who walk with patience, trust, and obedience more than anyone could imagine. Chosen ones, this is why the heart often resists, the mind doubts, and the soul fears, because the stakes are higher than the comfort of the present, and what is coming demands a version of you that is mature, steadfast, and aligned with divine intention. Every moment of resistance is a moment wasted. Every argument with the process is a delay in the blessing, and every attachment to what is no longer meant to stay is a blockage in the flow of your divine provision. Allah does not punish His chosen ones. He prepares them, and the preparation often feels uncomfortable because it is stripping away what is unnecessary and polishing what is essential. The more you surrender, the more effortless the journey becomes. The more you accept, the more abundant the provision flows, and the more you release control, the more Allah shows you that His timing is perfect, His wisdom is infinite, and His plan cannot be delayed by human stubbornness. Resistance delays the blessing because blessings are not merely given, they are received, and receiving requires a heart that is open, a mind that trusts, and a soul that submits fully to the One who sees the unseen and knows what is best. So do not fight the upgrade, do not cling to the past, and do not question what Allah has written for you. Instead, embrace the process with humility, patience, and faith, and watch as the doors you once thought were closed open effortlessly. The provisions you doubted arrive abundantly, And the life that Allah has been preparing manifests in ways that exceed every expectation, because surrender activates the blessings and acceptance accelerates divine momentum in ways that human understanding could never predict. Remember, chosen ones, resistance is human, submission is divine, and the moment you choose the latter, everything shifts: your heart, your circumstances, your destiny, and the very trajectory of your life. Chosen ones, one of the deepest and most powerful truths you must understand is that every trial, hardship, and challenge that crosses your path is not random, not meaningless, and not a reflection of your weakness, but is divinely calibrated to match the magnitude of the assignment Allah has entrusted to you. And this is why the weight of your experiences often feels heavier than anyone around you could bear or understand. Allah does not burden a soul beyond its capacity, yet He does not assign greatness to mediocrity, nor does He prepare a heart for a monumental mission with comfort and ease. The higher the purpose, the more intense the preparation, and the more exacting the trials. Every moment of betrayal, every experience of rejection, every period of loneliness, scarcity, and confusion is measured precisely by Allah to expand your spiritual, emotional, and mental capacity, so that when the time comes for your impact to manifest, you are fully equipped to carry it without being overwhelmed, broken, or distracted. The trials of a chosen one are not punishments, they are calibrations. They are divine mechanisms to refine your character, sharpen your discernment, deepen your reliance on Allah, and build resilience that cannot be obtained through ease or comfort. Look closely at the lives of the prophets, peace be upon them. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, endured years of ridicule, boycott, loss, and unimaginable trials, yet every hardship corresponded to the magnitude of the responsibility he was to carry for humanity, and through those trials, his heart, mind, and spirit were strengthened far beyond ordinary measure. Similarly, when you feel isolated, misunderstood, or overburdened, recognize that these trials are not random cruelty, but purposeful elevation. They are designed to prepare you for the spiritual, emotional, and practical responsibilities that await you. The people who never faced such challenges cannot comprehend your weight. The worldly measures of success cannot capture your journey, and those who walk with you now may never see the divine design behind your suffering, yet Allah sees everything, and He is calibrating every test with perfect wisdom. Your endurance is the proof of your assignment, your patience is the evidence of your capacity, and your unwavering faith, even in moments of confusion or despair, is the signal that Allah is grooming you for a mission so significant that only a soul refined by trials could fulfill it. Understand, chosen ones, that no hardship is wasted, no tear is unnoticed, and no struggle is meaningless. Every challenge stretches your perspective, strengthens your heart, and fortifies your spirit to meet not only your own destiny, but also to influence and guide those who will be touched by the work Allah is preparing you for. Your trials are uniquely yours, tailored to your capacity, and proportionate to the impact Allah intends for you to have, a responsibility that is far greater than mere worldly recognition, a task that demands spiritual authority, clarity of purpose, and unwavering reliance on Allah alone. When you feel the weight of life pressing down, the isolation of your journey, or the seeming unfairness of your circumstances, recognize that this is not a punishment, but a preparation. It is Allah's way of saying that you are being readied to carry what others cannot, to endure what others cannot, and to manifest what others are incapable of manifesting. The patience, perseverance, and strength you cultivate in these moments will not only elevate you personally, but will also create ripples that impact generations, inspire hearts, and fulfill a mission that transcends the worldly measure of success. Every obstacle is training for the responsibility of leadership. Every heartbreak is refining the depth of your empathy. Every loss is teaching you discernment, and every delay is increasing your reliance on Allah and deepening your tawakkul. Chosen ones, never underestimate the purpose behind your trials. They are not arbitrary, they are precise, and they are divine. They are perfectly proportioned to the magnitude of the assignment Allah has written for you. Your endurance proves your readiness, your patience proves your strength, and your trust proves your alignment with Allah's plan. Understand that when you emerge on the other side of these trials, you will be equipped in ways that the comfortable, the careless, and the complacent could never imagine. Your heart will carry wisdom, your mind will carry clarity, and your spirit will carry authority that matches the weight of your divine mission. Accept these trials as gifts in disguise, recognize their purpose, and honor the process. Because the life Allah is preparing for you, the impact He is entrusting to you, and the legacy He is crafting through you requires exactly this preparation. And when the day comes that you step fully into your assignment, you will see with perfect clarity that every moment of difficulty, every test of patience, every period of isolation, and every ounce of struggle was precisely calibrated to match the greatness of your purpose, to elevate you beyond what you could have ever achieved in comfort, and to shape you into a chosen one whose life is inseparably intertwined with the divine plan, whose presence transforms hearts, whose actions leave lasting impact, and whose story becomes a testimony to the truth that Allah never burdens a soul with trials disproportionate to its destined greatness, and that every challenge endured with patience, faith, and trust is a step closer to the fulfillment of the extraordinary mission He has written for you. Chosen ones, the final and most powerful lesson Allah wants you to understand in this season of your life is that acceptance, the full, unshakable, and unwavering acceptance of His plan, His timing, and His wisdom is the ultimate key that unlocks divine momentum, and without it, the blessings, elevation, and breakthroughs already decreed for you will remain delayed, stagnant, or incomplete, because Allah moves with a precision that requires your heart to be aligned, your ego to be subdued, and your soul to surrender completely to Him. Acceptance does not mean passivity, ignorance, or resignation. It means recognizing that every closed door, every delay, every challenge, every disappointment, and every seemingly unfair moment is orchestrated by the One who sees the unseen, knows the unseen, and writes destinies with perfect wisdom that no human mind can comprehend. When you accept what Allah has placed before you, the removal of people from your life, the shifting of circumstances, the trials that seem unbearable, and the changes that challenge your very identity, you allow divine energy to flow unhindered, creating a momentum that propels you toward your destiny faster than effort, planning, or struggle ever could. Chosen ones, every moment you resist, every question you cling to, and every desire to control outcomes acts as a dam, blocking the flow of your blessings and delaying the manifestation of the life Allah has written for you. But the moment you say, Ya Allah, I trust you fully, even when I do not understand, everything begins to shift. Acceptance activates your faith in ways that certainty cannot. It amplifies your connection to Allah, making your prayers more potent, your intentions purer, and your actions more aligned with the divine will. The truth is that momentum in life is not built merely through action. It is built through alignment with Allah's plan. And alignment is only possible when the heart submits completely. Your impatience, your questioning, your frustration, and your fear are human, but they are also the only barriers standing between you and the acceleration Allah has written into your destiny. Every obstacle you face, every delay you endure, and every challenge that seems insurmountable is actually a test of your ability to accept fully, because divine momentum cannot coexist with resistance. Look at the lives of the prophets, peace be upon them, and notice the pattern. Every elevation was preceded by unwavering acceptance, every breakthrough by full surrender, and every divine victory by complete trust, even when circumstances seemed bleak, when enemies surrounded them, and when the world questioned their worth. Chosen ones. Acceptance is the bridge between struggle and breakthrough, between delay and fulfillment, and between human effort and divine manifestation. It is the act of saying yes to Allah in silence, in patience, and in gratitude, knowing that His timing is perfect and His plan is far beyond what your eyes can see or your mind can comprehend. When you embrace acceptance fully, obstacles dissolve, clarity emerges, and opportunities that were once hidden become visible. Divine doors swing open, provisions flow effortlessly, and your life begins to move in a rhythm orchestrated not by chance, but by the hand of Allah Himself. Acceptance also transforms your inner world, replacing anxiety with peace, frustration with contentment, and doubt with certainty, because you no longer fight the process, but walk hand in hand with it, confident that the one who guides you is the most wise, most merciful, and most powerful. This alignment unleashes a momentum that cannot be stopped by circumstances, delayed by people, or hindered by challenges, because when Allah is moving, the forces of the universe bend to His will, and the chosen one who is fully surrendered becomes the vessel through which miracles, provision, and transformation flow into this world. Understand that acceptance is not a one-time event. It is a continuous choice, a daily surrender, and a commitment to trust even when your heart is heavy, your path is unclear, and your future seems uncertain. Every time you choose acceptance over resistance, patience over impatience, and faith over doubt, you are accelerating your journey, multiplying your blessings, and stepping closer to the destiny Allah has decreed for you. Chosen ones, this is why the moment of breakthrough often comes immediately after surrender, why the doors that seemed permanently closed suddenly open, and why the life you have been praying for manifests in ways that surpass every expectation. Because divine momentum is activated not by struggle, effort, or human understanding, but by complete, unwavering, and heartfelt acceptance of Allah's plan. When you embrace this truth, you realize that your past losses were preparation, your current trials are calibration, and your future blessings are inevitable, because acceptance transforms waiting into progress, fear into courage, and uncertainty into divine alignment. The energy of Allah moves through the hearts of those who accept, creating ripple effects that not only change their own lives, but touch generations, inspire communities, and establish legacies rooted in divine wisdom. Chosen ones, do not fight the timing, do not resist the process, and do not question what Allah has decreed. Instead, surrender fully, accept completely, and walk forward with confidence, knowing that the life, mission, and impact Allah has prepared for you cannot be delayed by human hesitation, cannot be diminished by human misunderstanding, and cannot be blocked by anything in this world, because divine momentum flows without interruption for those who align their hearts, minds, and souls with the one who controls all affairs. And the moment you do, you step into the flow of your destiny in a way that is unstoppable, unshakable, and divinely orchestrated. Chosen ones, if you have been listening closely, know this: Allah is not just moving pieces in your life randomly. He is orchestrating every trial, every loss, every delay, and every moment of discomfort to prepare you for a level of impact, purpose, and blessing that you cannot yet fully comprehend. What you have endured, what you have resisted, and even what you have feared was never wasted. It was preparation, refinement, and divine alignment. Your separation was protection, your discomfort was transformation, your silence was elevation, your trials were proportionate to your assignment, and your acceptance is the key that activates the unstoppable momentum of Allah's plan in your life. Do not let your heart cling to the past. Do not let your mind resist the process, and do not let your soul doubt the wisdom of the one who sees all and knows all. Step forward now with trust, with patience, and with unwavering faith, because Allah's upgrade is real, and it is already in motion. The life, the impact, the destiny, and the blessings He has written for you are waiting. All you need to do is embrace it fully, surrender completely, and allow the divine momentum to carry you into the extraordinary reality Allah has prepared. Remember, chosen ones, this is not just about what you gain, it is about who you are becoming, how you are rising, and the legacy you are creating through patience, faith, and alignment with Allah's will. So stand tall, walk with certainty, and know that your life is no longer ordinary. It has been upgraded by Allah Himself, and nothing can stop what He has already decreed for you.